All right, Rome Diamond League here in Italy just capped off. Man, this was an amazing, amazing Diamond League meet. Check out the video that I just did on, let's see, the Boho, kind of giving him some shout outs, highlighting him a little bit in this postseason. But today I wanted to talk about Christian Coleman, and he finished second place too, let's see, in the 100 meters here in Rome. But I wanted to dive in a little bit because I know that people tend to criticize, or at least give Christian Coleman a little bit of flack. I don't know if criticize is the best word, but people do kind of pick apart his career and maybe, don't say that he's the greatest athlete that he could be, et cetera, et cetera. And to a degree, there is some validity to comments that Christian Coleman has gotten where he's had a relatively up and down career, especially since, returning from his whereabouts ban, right? 2017, he was extremely dominant in the NCAA, coming out of Tennessee, NCAA record, NCAA champion, et cetera, et cetera. Then he went to the 2017 World Championships in London, got the silver medal in the 100-meter dash behind Justin Gatlin and ahead of Usain Bolt, right? One of the few people who can say they were, the last to beat Usain Bolt before he retired. Then follow that up in 2019, was able to get the gold medal at the World Championships, 9.76 seconds, moving him up to one of the fastest all time in the history of the 100-meter dash. But after that, like I noted, he did have that whereabouts ban, that suspension for just about 2 years. So he missed the 2021 Olympic Games, but he did come back in 2022. Because he was a defending champion at the World Championships in 2019, he had a bye to the 2022 Worlds in Eugene. Went there, but unfortunately finished, I think, 5th place in the 100-meter dash. Might have been 5th or 6th place. Someone could fact check me. Then he came back in 2023, 2nd place at USA Championships, qualified for Budapest, but he again ended up 5th place. That was a really, really tough race, considering he had been hitting on all cylinders. In my opinion, if I'm remembering correctly, I might have had Coleman as a slight favorite going into the World Championships, but just didn't execute, on the way there. And then, of course, 2024, this year, he didn't make the Olympic team, finished 4th place in the 100-meter dash. Of course, 2018 got the gold medal in the 60-meter dash. 2022 got the silver medal in the 60-meter dash indoors. So he has those accolades. Gold medal in 2024 this year in the 60 meters. He's the GOAT of the 60-meter dash. So thinking back at his career, yes, I do think that there's some validity and some understood criticism of him not getting back to the Christian Coleman that we might used to know. But where is it that I want to give a lot of grace to Christian Coleman? So first off, at the Paris Olympic Games, after the 4x1, where the USA, they not dropped the baton, but they didn't qualify, right? Christian to Kenny B, they didn't have a great handoff, right? It looks like Kenny left way too early, and they weren't able to execute inside the zone. In the mixed zone afterwards, Christian Coleman was extremely gracious. Actually, 2 points. On TV, when he was talking with Lewis Johnson, he was extremely gracious, and he didn't kind of, I want to say, like, he didn't fall into the trap of trying to blame, right, his teammate. He really kept very composed and was just like, I don't know, like, I don't know what happened. Like, we just didn't get it done.
Well, Christian, you had a great start, but let's go back to the first exchange where all the problems were. What happened there between you and Kenny?
We practiced. I think just, heat of the moment, we just didn't get it done today. We know we were capable of winning this. I think we were capable of breaking the world record too. We just didn't get it done.
Well, what happened right there? Why did you not catch up to Kenny there?
We just ain't get it done. We just ain't get it done.
But you have to explain, don't you, exactly why, after all the practices, that exchange didn't happen?
It just did happen. It wasn't our day today.
In your opinion, did Kenny leave early, or were you not able to catch him? And what kept the baton from being exchanged there?
I think just as a team, we just didn't get it done today, So, that's my brother. And I should have caught up to him. Everybody could have done a better job. We just didn't get it done today, that's it.
All right, Christian.
Also in the mix zone, I'll put the audio here, but he was also extremely gracious and just trying to explain what went down a little bit and understanding that, listen, they just didn't get it done. Check this audio out.
I think it just didn't happen. Obviously we, all just a little hard on ourselves because in track and field, it's an individual sport, so we are our own biggest critic. And so I think just when we come together as a team, that's the fun part of it. And so obviously, like you were saying before, like, it's a little disappointing, especially for America, because we wanted to do it, we wanted to bring it home. We knew we had the speed to do it. It simply just didn't happen, but we are human beings too, and we've been through ups and downs in life. This is just another one of those times where we just got to keep our head down and just keep pushing. But, it's a part of the sport. You come into it knowing that this is a risk-reward type of thing, and it's just something that just happens, and we do it on the biggest stage. But all of us has been through trials and tribulations. We're going to bounce back from it, and we're going to be good. All of us are world class. I expect all of us to be back on the team in LA. And I think on home soil, we'll be able to have a little bit more confidence and bring it on home. I'm very confident in that.
So listening to that, I think that really speaks to Christian Coleman as a person, as a human being, where yes, he's had these setbacks, he had the whereabouts failure, right? He wasn't able to get onto the podium in 2022 or 2023. There's been a lot of criticism that he's taken, online, over the past couple years, but despite that, he still remains extremely grounded and extremely humble despite all the things that, he could be extremely angry about, right? And something like that for me really goes a long way with an athlete where, I get a chance to, I have the pleasure, the opportunity to speak with pretty much all the top athletes in the world on a very consistent basis throughout the year. Huge shout out to Sidious Mag for the opportunities, right? And I see these athletes in different spaces, right? An athlete is finishing off a race and maybe they did extremely well, but then they choose not to talk. Maybe they didn't do bad and they do want to talk, or, vice versa, whatever it may be. And sometimes, I'm going to be completely honest, it's very tough when maybe I want an athlete to talk, but maybe they don't have the best attitude, not calling out anyone specific, so make sure that that's clear. But when someone like a Christian Coleman, who also has, I'll be completely honest, has done that as well, where there's times that he didn't want to stop and talk, right? Where he has just kind of walked through. Perfectly fine. But when I do have the opportunity to talk with him, he has always been extremely gracious. He's always been extremely humble, and he's always displayed, just a level of, understanding for other athletes, for himself, for the media, for whoever it is, with the utmost grace. So I really want to give Christian Coleman a shout out on that. So just a little highlight on there. The other thing I did want to note is after the Olympic trials, Christian Coleman did change coaches. So he moved down to Florida, and he is being coached by Dennis Mitchell. So I got a chance to, again, speak with him after Rome here, and he did share some details as to why he made that change from Tim Hall in South Carolina all the way down to Florida. And check out the little clip here.
I've been with my same coach since I was in college, and I feel like just hitting a little bit of a ceiling. Coach Hall, he's a great coach, great guy, of course. I just feel like when you get to this level, it got to be fine-tuned. You need all your attention, the fine details there every day. And with him being the head coach now, it just I think it was just mutually time for the both of us, and I think I was doing my best to try to put myself in the best possible situation, and I think that race at trial just kind of magnified everything that I've been feeling. And at that point, because I feel like I've been doing everything I needed to do on my part, it just didn't happen. And, I know track and field is one of the sports, especially for me, it's like we just playing for these big races and big events, so it's like it's not the moment. I just got to be mentally, spiritually, and physically aligned to be at my best, and I just feel like making that change will give me the best shot at doing that. So it's been cool so far. It's definitely been a transition, but like I said, I feel like I feel good about where I'm at right now, putting one foot in front of the other, and I'll be even better at the final. So, and especially going into next year. So I'm more so encouraged and excited than anything.
So, like he said, I think this is a really interesting answer where he's talking about the fact that, he's been with Tim Hall his entire career. He spoke very highly on Tim Hall, and, him and Tim Hall have a very, very strong relationship. I think that, regardless of the move, him and Tim Hall are absolutely good. But of course, as he grows throughout his career, right, as he has new lessons, as things may, not work in the way that he might expect, I think he understood that there, is time for a little bit of change. And I think that it's a good environment for him to be in, where now he's training with a Kenny B, with a Kyrie King, with a Courtney Lindsay, with an Aaron Brown, right? He has a very strong group around him of other high quality, right, world-class Olympic medalists, world medalist sprinters, right? So Christian Coleman is in a very, very good position, and I think that him working with Dennis Mitchell and with the Star Athletics group is really going to take him to new heights, right? Christian Coleman is still 28 years old. Someone like Fred Curley, right, who's still doing well. I think Fred Curley is 29 years old, right? You have athletes who are in their 30s and still doing well. So let's kind of pump the brakes on maybe saying that, Christian Coleman is never going to get back to it. I think he still has a very, very strong opportunity to be able to really get back into the fold, get back down to those 9.7s and contend for some podium spots. Yes, we know the landscape of the 100-meter dash has completely changed, where you have guys like a Kashane Thompson, you have Noah Lyles running extremely fast, right? Fred Curley just got on the podium. You have, a bunch of other guys like Kenny B, who's dipping into the 100, Taboho, who's there, right? So many guys are, of course, in the mix for the 100-meter dash, but I don't think that means we should dismiss Christian Coleman. Again, if someone like Fred Curley can completely switch events and at 29 years old is still getting on Olympic podiums, I think that Christian Coleman is in a very, very good position. So really quick highlight, I was kind of just talking through, but I just wanted to really highlight Christian Coleman and kind of the progression that he's had, and why, yes, I guess there's some level of criticism that is valid because he's had an up and down career. Maybe hasn't, had the highest of highs, post whereabouts ban. But I do think that he has a lot more to go, and you know, when you have an athlete who is extremely humble, extremely respectful, and, you know, tries to, you know, show as much love to athletes, to, you know, to fans, to media, et cetera, I think that definitely has to be appreciated. So let me know what you think about Christian Coleman. Do you think we're going to see him back on the podium in a 100-meter dash maybe next year, maybe in a couple years? Do you think we're going to see him, you know, improve his personal best, that 9.76 from all the way back in 2019? Who knows? But let me know what you think. Always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.